What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and gonna get to this fast before I get tons of comments about the absurd characters in the thumbnail, or the absurd characters you'll see later on in this video. Read the title again. These are pipe dream characters. What does pipe dream mean? Pipe dream. An unattainable or fanciful hope or plan. Okay, good. Now fanciful isn't exactly a common word, so what does fanciful mean? Fanciful. Of a person or their thoughts and ideas that are over-imaginative and unrealistic. Good, so hopefully you guys see where I'm going with this. These are wild cards, just random pics of Smash characters that I'd personally love to see, no matter how unrealistic or impossible they seem or actually are. Now, pay no mind to this crazy overbearing intro. I'm not talking down to you guys. You probably do understand that Smash speculation is never safe. I'm surprised my last two Smash videos got such positive reception. But with all that said, let's begin. Our first character is a rep from Team Fortress 2. With Overwatch's chances of getting a character in skyrocketing, people have been going nuts for getting a Team Fortress 2 character in instead. And I'm in that same boat no matter how unlikely it is. I've put well over 1,000 hours into this game, so if one of the characters got in, I'd pretty much faint. However, the lack of appearing on a Nintendo console kind of prevents that. Now you may want to point at Joker and Cloud, but Cloud showed up in Kingdom Hearts spin-offs on the DS, and Joker showed up in Persona Q2 on the 3DS right before his reveal. Team Fortress 2 doesn't have any cameos or appearances even as obscure and small as those on any Nintendo platforms. But who knows, Sakurai could surprise us by opening another floodgate with them. If it were to happen, people tend to lean towards the Heavy because he's pretty much the face of the game, or the Scout because he's nearly as iconic as the Heavy but also has a moveset that would be way more easy to translate into Smash. But for me, my pipe dream character in this scenario is the Engineer. He's my main in Team Fortress 2, but would also bring a very unique mechanic to Smash. We don't have any device managers yet. The closest we have is probably Pac-Man with his hydrant. But even that's barely scratching the surface of the potential a device managing playstyle could have in Smash. A Team Fortress 2 rep in general is already highly unlikely no matter how much I want one to be in, but even if it were to eventually happen, I doubt they'd go with the Engineer, so he's my first pipe dream character. Next up is an Ape Escape character. It could either be Spike, since he's the first protagonist the series has ever had, or Spectre, since he's been the villain for the entire series. Now, Ape Escape, as much as I want it in Smash, has even less of a chance than Team Fortress 2. Not only has it never been on a Nintendo platform, but it's exclusive to PlayStation. And I don't mean like Banjo to Microsoft levels of exclusive where he just belongs to a company that Microsoft owns. I mean, Ape Escape directly comes from Sony itself. Asking Spike to be in Smash would be like asking Mario to come over to PlayStation All-Stars. But once again, who knows? Sakurai is always looking to push limits and boundaries. Even if the Ape Escape series is pretty dormant at the moment, imagine how earth-shattering it would be for Sakurai to add another company's first-party character. When it comes to Spike, he has all sorts of cool gear he could use for his moveset. His stun club, his Skyflyer, his magic punch, his floating killer bee turrets, his slingshot, his RC car, there's so much. And Spectre can fly around and shoot all kinds of cool beams and lasers like a Dragon Ball character. Plus he's full of psychic abilities. His playstyle would be like Mewtwo, Lucario, and Captain Falcon combined into one. However, in the Japan-exclusive Ape Escape Million Monkeys, Spike and Spectre were both playable and were pretty much clones of each other in that game. So they could be alts of each other if they were added in Smash. Overall though, the Sony thing makes it hard to be optimistic about them, so yeah, Spike and Spectre are pipe dreams. Next up is Jak and Dexter, and while it's pretty obvious why they don't have much of a chance, they do actually have a better chance than the Ape Escape characters, because they're more second party as they're owned by Naughty Dog instead of Sony themselves. Still not quite on the level of Banjo though, considering they still never used to be on Nintendo. Either way, Jak and Dexter would be a really fun character to have in Smash. They have lots of hand-to-hand combat moves, but also a really cool and unique weapon called the Morph Gun, which can fire bullets in a multitude of interesting ways. Not to mention all of Jak's different magical powers by manipulating Eco, or his dark and light forms. Jak could potentially have one of the most creative and unique movesets in the entire game. It'd be a shame if he got in and his moveset barely scratched the surface of what he had to offer. Sonic. Bayonetta. Sorry. Ooh, that's a mighty cough I've got going on. But not only would they be one of the most interesting characters in terms of moveset, but they would also have the personality advantage. Jak's stoic and serious behavior complemented nicely by Dexter's antics and shenanigans. I guarantee we'd get plenty of quotable one-liners and quips from Dexter for victory screens and taunts. While super duper unlikely right now, all Sakurai has to do is just push his boundaries a teeny tiny bit more for them to become entirely possible. Seriously, he's like in the next tier of likelihood behind Banjo. Sakurai's just gotta open up that tier. This next one is super duper fun because he's the most obscure character I've brought up so far and have on this entire list, yet he also has the best chance of anyone I've named so far. It's Ty the Tasmanian Tiger from his series of the same title. Honestly, he meets all the criteria for characters that could make it into Smash. He's not exclusively owned by any other first party, he's been on Nintendo consoles multiple times, and his first game is even getting a remaster ported to the Nintendo Switch next year. The only thing preventing him from getting in is that no one in the majority really knows him or cares about him. But hey, look at Terry Bogard and his massive influence in South America. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger is exactly like that, but for Australia. UK got their Banjo, the South Americans are getting their Terry, us in North America are waiting for our Crash Bandicoot, let the Australians have their Ty. Now I'm not gonna push super hard for him, he's just a personal pick. I know that no one would really care or even know who he is. I also just happen to think his story is pretty neat. Believe it or not, of all video game companies, he used to be burning under the magnifying glass of EA. But he managed to escape and become an indie property. Free to have his own projects kickstarted and funded successfully. He had his games ported to Steam, and now they're coming to Switch and PlayStation 4, Xbox One later on. Even with all this though, Ty is still just a pipe dream. But you know, Terry Bogard used to be some other people's pipe dreams. Who knows? Alrighty, this next one's just hilarious. I'd love to see a rep from Grand Theft Auto, specifically Grand Theft Auto 5, but any game would work really. I mean, it has had a few games on Nintendo handhelds, and it does have the legacy to deserve a spot in Smash. Grand Theft Auto 5 specifically is one of the best-selling video games of all time. It has sold over 100 million copies. To put that into perspective, that's twice the amount of copies the entire Super Smash Bros. Series has sold combined. The only thing preventing it from getting in is its extremely mature rating. And I know what you're thinking. What about Snake? What about Bayonetta and Joker? No. GTA is a bit different. There's so much more going on in that game beyond just the violence alone. It's even had some bans and restrictions in Japan, a similar obstacle that Mortal Kombat faces. But hey, if Scorpion makes it in, then I guess we're all good. Even minus the guns, a character from GTA could have a pretty unique moveset. There's still knives, grenades, smoke bombs, C4s, monkey wrenches, crowbars. GTA 5 even added some really cool laser weapons. Plus, I'm pretty sure they could also do something with Michael and Franklin's powers to slow down their own perception of time. They have a lot to offer despite just looking like regular guys. GTA 5 has been rumored to be coming to the Switch, but that rumor has been going on since the Switch launched. So until that happens, or until Scorpion gets added to Smash, a GTA rep will remain as a pipe dream. This guy, Frogger, is the most likely character in this entire video. The best chance? Nah, but the most likely, definitely. What I mean by that is, if there were to be another Smash game, I'd say he has a good chance. But as far as the Fighters Pass and DLC spots go, I don't think he's the best fit. You see, Smash totally has a thing for adding in and modernizing classic characters from the golden age of arcades, or just the 80s in general. We've seen it with the Ice Climbers, Duck Hunt Dogs, Simon Belmont, but when it comes to Frogger, he's like the Yamcha of arcade characters. Dig Dug and Excitebike Guy strangely have more requests than Frogger. And we can't forget other highly requested old school console characters like Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. Frogger may be an icon in one of the top categories for Smash newcomer contenders, but he's sharing that category with a ton of other icons. He'd even have to battle it out with his own company Konami, as they already have Metal Gear and Castlevania and Smash, as well as other heavy-hitting series like Silent Hill and Contra. There's a lot of fun things you could do with him when it comes to his moveset and playstyle, and he'd bring a lot of cool music with him, but sadly that isn't enough. There's nothing stopping Frogger, and he's a super deserving character. He's just drowning in a pool of way more deserving characters. So he remains a pipe dream. Now, going back to the joke I made earlier about Frogger being the Yamcha of arcade characters, please hear me out for this next guy. I know he's not a game character. Read the title of the video, read the title of the video, read the title of the video. Goku in Smash. It's never gonna happen, it's never gonna happen. That's what we always say. Ridley's too big, K rules too irrelevant, Banjo is owned by Microsoft, and Sakurai has specifically called Goku out and said that he's never going to be in. Now I know that's a huge jump in quote-unquote deconfirmation circumstances, especially since Goku was called out again by Sakurai fairly recently. But it's not because of a no Goku rule or anything, it's just a rule against non-video game characters. The rule isn't targeting Goku, he just happens to be affected by it. Sakurai has been known to break his own rules a few times before, and while this is a pretty big one, if he breaks it, Goku goes from being the most unlikely character to the most likely. All it would take is a simple little snap of Sakurai's fingers, and he'd be in. But as for right now in this moment, he has no chance at all. I just think he'd be really cool, but I'm not avidly pushing for him, or hoping for him, or demanding that he be in. He, just like the rest of this video, is just a pipe dream. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your pipe dreams down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. LeopoldTheBrave, out.